All right, what is going on here? It looks like a spaceship or something.
This is shredded Napa cabbage. It's cut into squares about an inch to maybe an inch and a half wide under a salt brine, which is a 1 cup of salt to 8 cups of water ratio. And it stays weighted down so that all of the cabbage will be under the brine. And you let it sit for an hour and a half, and then we'll flip it over and make sure again that it's all underneath. And this whole apparatus is simply to keep the cabbage pushed down under the level of the brine. The oranges add the weight.
And then what?
And then we are making a broth in the other room with just various and sundry vegetables.
Like what?
There's the ends of the Napa cabbage in there. There's some onion. There's some mushroom. There's a piece of kelp, a dried kelp. 3 pieces of dried kelp and water.
Where's the garlic?
That comes in later.
That comes in later.
Brother Sven, what are we making?
We are making kosher kimchi.
And you have made this many times before, several times, a few times?
We've made it a few times.
I had some for lunch. It was delicious.
It tastes just like you eat it in Korea.
Yeah, it's really good. Why is it kosher?
Because there's no shrimp paste, which is typical in the kimchi you would typically eat in Korea.
So this is clean kimchi.
Clean kimchi.
So, all right, we made this broth. What are we going to do with the broth?
We are going to put it in a blender with a series of other things, a pear, garlic, hot peppers, some green onion.
How much garlic do you think?
A few cloves. 3, 4.
Is that like the round piece of garlic or the whole?
No.
Oh, it's a clove and a bulb,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, not the bulb.
Okay.
The whole bulb would be some strong kimchi.
Okay.
You can make the kimchi as hot as you'd like. We use a, handful of peppers. You can use fresh, you can use dried. The way Koreans themselves do it is like pepper flakes. Not like you'd throw on pizza, but like a fine dust made of ground up peppers. And whatever flavor profile you want can be accommodated. The peppers aren't any particular ones. Thai chilies work really well. The first time we made it, we used peppers right out of our own garden.
All right, so we're going to blend it all up.
We're going to blend it all up. Then you take the brined pieces of cabbage, and then you take it, you coat every piece all the way around, and then you throw it in back to the pot. You throw plastic wrap on top so it's put down. You seal it on up, and you let it ferment. You can either let it ferment for a day, and there's day-old kimchi, which is its own thing. You can do 3 days, which is also its own thing. But the optimal is 3 weeks. And after it's fermented for 3 weeks, you can put it in your fridge. Typically, you can put it in your fridge. Doesn't really matter how you store it. The more
Where do you put it to ferment it?
You can put it on somewhere, a counter, your table.
All right, so it doesn't have to be refrigerated?
It doesn't have to be refrigerated. For the 3 weeks, you don't want it to be refrigerated. You want it to be room temperature, thus the fermentation is better. I forgot something. You also want to boil a small piece of potato, like maybe a quarter of a potato, and you blend it into it because that adds an amount of yeast. Otherwise, it will not ferment.
Okay, all right.
Left that part out, which is a big no-no to forget.
Well, maybe we'll show it when you guys are getting ready to put it in the fermentation chamber.
Possibly, but it's really not a hard step. It's pretty easy to make kimchi.
Do you have any kimchi left in the fridge? We can show people kind of like a finished product.
Here is a whole jar of it.
All right, and you guys made this, right?
Yes, we made this.
Man, is that what I had for lunch?
This is from a different batch.
Okay.
This one, we didn't get enough of the brine off, so it's too salty.
Oh, you told me that.
But it's still pretty good.
Could you rinse it?
We could, but then we'd lose all of the
goodness.
paste,
Okay, all right. Well, thank you.
No problem.
Say shalom or goodbye or whatever.
Peace.